Backroads, 1999, by Tawni O'Dell tells the gripping story of Harley Altmyer, a 19-year-old burdened with the care of his three younger sisters after his mother, Bonnie, is imprisoned for murdering his abusive father. As Harley navigates the challenges of daily life, long-buried secrets surface, forcing him to confront painful truths he has tried to suppress. The novel, an Oprah's book club selection in March 2000, was later adapted into a 2018 film starring Alex Pettyfer as Harley. The story begins with Harley being interrogated by police about the murder of an unnamed individual, later revealed as Callie Mercer, the family's married neighbor. Struggling to focus on their questions, Harley is struck by a frustrated officer before deciding to recount the truth. The narrative then shifts to several months earlier, detailing Harley's life and responsibilities. In therapy sessions with Betty, Harley opens up about the hardships of raising his sisters, Amber, Misty, and Jody, while juggling two low-paying jobs, bagging groceries and delivering appliances. Haunted by memories of his father's abuse toward himself and Amber, Harley also recalls the favoritism shown to Misty, the only child who shared their father's love of hunting. The family's estrangement from their father's relatives, except for occasional visits from Uncle Mike, adds to Harley's sense of isolation. At home, Harley clashes with Amber over her reckless behavior, particularly her sexual activity, fearing she'll become pregnant and neglect her role in caring for Misty and Jody. One night, after finding Amber having sex on the living room couch, Harley reacts impulsively, brandishing a gun his uncle gave him to scare the boy away before dragging the couch outside and setting it ablaze. Later, Harley takes Jody to visit Bonnie in prison. Though he hasn't seen his mother since the trial, he accompanies Jody reluctantly. During the visit, Bonnie's unexpected warmth unsettles Harley, leaving him to wonder if she prefers the safety of imprisonment. Overwhelmed, he suffers a panic attack and must be escorted out, leading to Bonnie being barred from receiving visitors for 6 months. Harley's life becomes further complicated by his conflicting emotions. He harbors a growing infatuation with Callie Mercer, eagerly anticipating her late-night visits to the grocery store. Amber, attempting to distract Harley from his responsibilities, sets him up on a date with one of her friends. However, Harley remains fixated on Callie, comparing his date unfavorably to her. When the date turns intimate, Harley panics and pushes the girl away, underscoring his turmoil and inability to reconcile his emotions. Through vivid character development and unflinching portrayals of trauma and resilience, Backroads weaves a tale of family dysfunction, suppressed desires, and the weight of generational scars. The girl from Harley's date spreads a rumor at school that he hit her, sparking outrage from Amber, who confronts him angrily. Meanwhile, Harley visits Callie Mercer's home to pick up Jody from a playdate. During their conversation, they bond over art, and Callie is impressed by Harley's unexpected knowledge on the subject. A few days later, Callie drops off an art book at the Altmyer house, prompting Harley to study it as a way to deepen their connection. Tensions at home escalate when Amber climbs into Harley's bed, leading to a disturbing sexual dream that unsettles him. He pushes Amber away and, in a confused state, goes to the Mercer's house. Callie finds him, and the two end up having sex near a small creek. Over the following weeks, Harley and Callie engage in repeated sexual encounters, eventually using an abandoned mining office as a regular meeting spot. During this time, Harley's dog digs up a bloody shirt in the woods, which turns out to belong to Misty. When Harley questions Amber about it, unsettling memories resurface about Misty's relationship with their father. Harley begins to suspect that their father sexually abused Misty. Further evidence emerges when Amber discovers an envelope of stolen money in Misty's belongings. The money, taken from Bonnie before their father's death, was meant to fund Bonnie and Misty's escape, reinforcing Harley's belief in Misty's victimization. Harley visits Bonnie in prison, and she reveals a shocking truth. Misty was the one who killed their father. However, Bonnie claims Misty's shot was intended for her, not him. The family's fragile stability crumbles further when Amber moves out of the house, accusing Harley of hurting her but refusing to elaborate. Though she returns a week later, their relationship remains strained. Jody hints that Misty confided something to Amber about Harley, though the specifics remain unclear. Amber later confronts Harley at his supermarket job, announcing her decision to leave permanently. Desperate, Harley persuades her to stay, but that night she comes to his room and tries to initiate sex. Horrified, Harley sends her away. The next morning, a conversation with Misty reveals a disturbing reality. She has been teaching Jody that incest is normal. The weight of suppressed memories comes crashing down on Harley while he's at work. He recalls sexual encounters between himself and Amber during their childhood, moments born out of shared trauma and their father's abuse. Harley turns to his therapist, Betty, for support. Betty explains that these acts were attempts to find comfort in the face of their father's violence. She expresses concern for Amber and prescribes Harley sleeping pills to help him rest. Later that night, Harley wakes and realizes he's late for a meeting with Callie. Sneaking out of Betty's office, he arrives at the mining company office to a horrific scene. Callie has been shot and killed. Amber soon appears and confesses to the murder. Harley consoles Amber and brings her home, but the weight of the events drives him to confess to the police. However, as the investigation unfolds, the authorities discover Amber's blood-soaked clothing, and the truth emerges. Amber is charged with Callie's murder, and Harley is committed to a psychiatric hospital. The story closes with Harley grappling with the trauma, guilt, and fractures in his family, leaving an indelible mark on his path forward. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.